Welcome back to NJBIZ Conversations. I'm your host, Jeff Kanide. It is my great pleasure to welcome a very special guest, His Honor, the Mayor of the City of New York, Ras Baraka. Welcome.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Thanks for joining us, Mr. Mayor. We're at the Newark Summit. I wanted to start, first of all, by asking you about this event. There's a lot of people here. They're doing a lot of talking. What does this mean for the city to have this here, and do you get actual benefits out of an event like this?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, even the immediate benefits, people got to go eat. They go hang out and get to see the city. So it's always an opportunity for us when people gather in a city, like any city, whether it's a convention, a large one, a small one, a gathering, a meeting. The city benefits in many different ways from that. As I said, immediately by folks going out and partaking in the restaurants and the businesses that we have, but also looking at the city and see what's going on. It helps them get a different outlook and view of what's happening in Newark.
Indeed, it does. And you do have a lot of different kinds of people here. Are this the right group of people to be talking about in economic development? I mean,
yeah. I think there was a diverse crowd downstairs of folks, business folks, college students, people from the public sector, not just government, but nonprofits were down there, some local residents as well. I think it's a good mix. I mean, if they could be more deliberate about the mix, it would make it even better.
Okay. Now, I'm curious about your relationship with the business community, because when I talk to corporate executives and business owners who work in and around Newark, they are universally happy with you and your administration. Nothing but praise.
Gosh.
How do you assess your relationship with the business community? How do you balance their needs against the rest of the residents of the city?
The whole job is a balancing act. You're not just balancing the private sector, the residents, the public sector, your vision, your plans versus what other people think should happen. But the private sector, me coming in and making sure that we worked closely with them, and being very honest and collaborative about what it is we wanted and needed, and very transparent about it. Whether we agreed or not, just the willingness to sit down and build relationships and talk through these things. Any new business that's come to Newark, we've brought them here collectively. There's nothing that I did by myself. If it wasn't for Prudential or Newark Alliance, all these other folks helping us bring Mars or McKinsey or these folks, we actually have a process, a plan. Like, I'm the last person on the totem pole. They talk to them. I close the deal, but those guys make the deal possible. And we appreciate the relationship. And then the need for us to create equity. They've been on board with that 100,000%, creating opportunity and jobs for the residents of the city of Newark, investing in the community. I mean, Prudential, from purchasing tax credits to funding our view or helping us understand what procurement dollars can do for the city, how to advance corporations buy in the city of Newark, right? And helping us hire or prepare Newark residents for executive positions here. So they've been 100% on board with what we've been doing. So I have nothing for praise. We don't always agree, but a long time ago, I learned if there's 10 things on the table and you disagree with 3, the 7 things you agree on, you have to hold on to those and go forward with. And we continue to struggle around the 3, but we shouldn't walk away from the table.
Okay, well, that's what I hear when I ask, what is it about the mayor that makes him effective? And what I hear is it's the openness, it's the willingness to have the conversations. The conversations may be difficult, right, but you're willing to have them. Is that the way you view it?
Yeah, and presence. I think presence is important.
Okay.
Yeah, presence shows commitment to something. You have to be present. Like, you have to be accessible and available. Right. Even if you're not present physically, sometimes people have to know you're present. Like,
right,
your mama around when she ain't around, right? But that's the kind of presence that you have to have around here, and I think it's been effective.
Okay. I know you're busy. I'm going to let you go. But before I do, I want to pick up on something Angela Genova asked you about, and that is your race for governor. New Jersey, by many measures, is the most urban state in the country, and yet in my memory, most governors tend to come from the suburbs. What would it mean for economic development in Newark and other cities around the state if you were to win the governor's office?
Well, you actually have somebody in there who knows how to do it, who's actually been in a plane with turbulence before. We've been getting on planes, and the pilot has been his first flight. So, we probably solve and mitigate more problems before noon than most of these folks deal with all year, right? So, at the end of the day, it also means that we understand where investment should go, the importance that business plays, why Newark is important. I think it makes no sense that Newark is not as developed as it should be, that Port Authority should be the center of attention of most of what's going on in this logistic state. That the train station should be overly developed at this point. Talking about millions of people that are going in and out of this corridor. That Camden should be a bustling and overperforming city.
Right.
That the state's capital should not look the way it looks. I think we're not investing in the things that will traditionally make other states money. Our money is in these cities, right? That's where the commercial corridors are. That's where they exist. They don't exist. Either we developing the farmland and making sure that we're producing and manufacturing, or we're developing cities where commerce is happening every single day. The Port Authority, the Newark Seaport, is the second largest seaport in the nation.
Right.
Right? When Baltimore Harbor fell, the bridge fell, everybody came to Newark. There's no reason we shouldn't have a modernized port, a larger port, that we should be working with NJIT, the port community, local government, to figure out how to make that port not only the number one port in the nation, but the most modernized port at the same time.
Okay, we will leave it there. Ras Baraka, thank you very much for joining us. I appreciate it.